Good morning, children. I, Tapu sir, your moral science teacher. Today, I am going to teach class 4 students moral science lesson number 8, The King's Choice. This is in your final exam course. So, listen the story, children. Very important that you should listen the video properly. Once upon a time, there was a king who was very wise, kind, and just and loving. His people were very happy with him. One day, it so happened that he had to leave his kingdom for some day. He was worried who amongst them will take care of his kingdom in my absence. I have 6 ministers and all capable and honest, but whom should I trust? He thought. Now, a king who was very wise and he loved his people very much. So it so happened that he has to go to some place for some day. So in behalf of him, who will take the charge of his kingdom, and so that he should rule the kingdom properly in his absence. But he has to decide because six of intelligent and capable minister he had, but who will be the best among them he has to decide. As he neared the royal lake, a man in yellow clothes suddenly appeared before the king. He held a little bag on his hand. Go find out answer. The man said, and he reached into his bag and sprinkled some silvery powder on the king. Lo, the king's skill, robe, and crown turned into coat and muffler of a woodcutter, and his shiny sword became an old and dull axe. Now, while he was walking across a lake, he found a man with yellow colored cloth came in front of him. He took out some powder from his bag and threw over the king and told him, go and find out. When he threw the powder on him, the king's total appearance changed. How? The kingly cloth changed into a coat, means a torn, worn out coat, and his scarf changed into a muffler, and his shiny sword, the pride of a king, sword, talwar, changed into a dull, old axe. Axe, generally woodcutter use axe. It changed into that axe. Who are you, and how dare you to do this to me? Don't you know I am the king of this palace? Thundered the king. The king did not take much notice of the king's anger. I am not scared of you, for I am God angel. He said, your minister will soon come boating on the lake. Be sure to invite them to dinner at the woodcutter's cottage in 3 days, said the angel and disappeared. So now the king got angry that who is this person who threw powders on me? Then he told, I am not afraid of you. That person told, I am king, God angel, and I know you are in search of some answers to your question. And today only you will get you will get the reply of it. How? Now your 6 of the minister will come for boating into this lake, and you will be the woodcutter who will invite them to a meal to his house. By saying this, the yellow dressed man disappeared from there. Excuse me. Within a few seconds, dark cloud filled the sky, and a howling wind started to blow. Through the rain and the wind, king could make out the shape of a boat and 6 men sitting on it. The wind started blowing stronger and the boat swayed widely. King could hear the 6 men shouting to each other to keep the boat steady and recognize the voice of the minister. But the wind was just too strong. I toppled the boat, throwing the 6 men into the water. I can't let them die, the king thought, and jumped into the lake. He was a good swimmer. All he needed to do was to reach the boat and turn it over where 4 long stalks He then helped the minister climb aboard and rowed them to the safety of the man. He now he saw that six of the minister of his kingdom came there for boating, and that time the weather was so bad that it started to have a nasty strong wind started to blow, and the storm became very worse minute after minute. Now these six ministers were sitting in the boat were calling for help how to make the boat steady, because due to wind the boat was moving to and fro. Anytime it will topple down, it will come upside down, and it so happened that the boat was about to topple. That time the king, who was totally dressed up like a woodcutter, jumped into the water and saved the minister from that storm. The relief minister thanked the woodcutter for saving their lives. Now the king could not recognize, the ministers could not recognize their king. They thought that it is a woodcutter who saved their life. He would like to reward them for her heroic act. Tell us what you would like, said the oldest minister. King remembered the angel word. Sir, I am hosting a feast in 3 days. I would be honored if all of you would attend it my cottage in right there by the lakeside, he said. Is that all you want? No wealth or jewel or robe in the court? Asked another minister. The honor of serving great men like you is greater than any wealth or jewel or job in the court. The woodcutter replied humbly. Now the minister told that you have saved our life. Now you ask whatever you want, we will give you, because it is a great thing that our life has been saved by you from this strong storm. But that time the king remembered the words of that man, yellow dressed man. He told, it will be a great honor for me if you will have a dinner party in my home 3 days after today. Then the minister told, what? You have saved our life, you want jewels or you want any work or job in the court. It will be a good ask for our saving our life. But the woodcutter told, I don't want anything. I want only you will have a dinner in my home. It will be a great thing of pride for me that a good ministers like you, wise ministers like you will be a part of my family for one day. The minister promised to attend the feast and bid the woodcutters goodbye. The king to return to his palace. As he lay down to rest, the same angel reappeared in his dream. O noble king, announced to you, minister and courtier, that you will hold a royal banquet in 3 days' time. Also tell them that the name of the ministers who will rule the kingdom during your absence will be announced at the banquet, he said. The king was surprised when he heard this. How will I announce the caretaker king's name? I have made up my mind yet, because how will the ministers come? They have promised to attend the woodcutter feast, said the king to the angel. Now, after that incident, the minister went back to their home, and the king, who was dressed up like a woodcutter, came back to his palace. He was sleeping. The same yellow colored dress up man, who was God angel, came in front of him in the palace and told, now tomorrow you will announce in your court that after 3 days you will have a great dinner party in the palace, and that day only will declare the name of the king, name of the person who will be the king after his absence in that palace. Then the king told to the God angel that how it will be possible, because the minister has promised the woodcutter that they will go to his home for dinner, and if I will tell that you have to attend the party here in the palace, how it will possible that they will go both the place? You will see for yourself. The angel said and disappeared as quickly as he had appeared in the dream. The next morning, the king ordered his minister and courtiers to be present in the court. I have given a lot of thought to as to which of my minister is best suited to rule the kingdom, and I am away. I will announce my decision at banquet that will be held the day after tomorrow, he said. The next 6 ministers were in a fix. How could they attend the woodcutter feast and the king's banquet on the same day? They would have to choose one, the two. At the royal banquet, the king watched his minister enter. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, they are all going to be here. King thought to himself, 5, but where is that 6th minister? The king asked the courtier and minister present if you knew where the 6th minister was. Now, next day, it so happened that king announced in the court that in my absence, who will be the next ruling king, I will declare today, and in the banquet, or the dinner which I will be giving as a party in the palace, all the ministers should be present there. In that party, I will declare the person's name. From 6 of you, who will be the one, the king of this kingdom in my absence? The king told. So every minister was surprised because they have promised the woodcutter that they will go to his house for the dinner. Now the king is announcing that they have to be present there in his party because king is going to announce the name of the person who will be the next king in the absence of the king. Everybody came, first, second, third, fourth, fifth minister came into that party, but the 6th one was absent. Now the king ordered his soldier go and find out where is that 6th minister. He said he had a promise to keep, said one. What promise can be greater than obeying the king's command? I ordered him to be brought before me and the king saw it. It wasn't too long before the soldier led the young minister into the court. Explained your absence for the royal banquet, ordered the king. Your Highness, I had promised the woodcutter that I would attend his feast, but when I went there, both he and his courtier were missing. The minister answered calmly. Do you mean to say that you disobeyed your king order to have dinner with the woodcutter? The king roared. I have never meant to disobey you, your Highness, but I owe my life to the woodcutter. I was bound by gratitude and attended his feast. Besides, I accepted his invitation before your order came. The king turned to his courtiers and announced, there is a man who is willing to risk his king's anger, but not ready to forget his gratitude to the humble woodcutter. A man of gratitude is a man of honesty and courage. A man is who care my kingdom and people will be saved. Now the 6th minister was not present in the party. King gave order to the soldier, go and find out that 6th minister where he is. But after some time they brought that 6th minister. Now king is asking to the 6th minister, where are you? Where were you? We are not in the party. I told you should be present in the party because I am going to declare the name of the king, next king in my absence. So the minister told king, I am very sorry to say that I have given promise, I have made my mind that I will attend the dinner in the woodcutter house who had saved me from that storm. But when I reached to his home, neither the woodcutter was there nor his cottage was there. So the king told, you, the person who was not there, you went to his house. You are not thinking that you are disobeying your king order. Then the minister told that I am not disobeying you, neither I will dare to disobey you, king, because I have promised that woodcutter before you have given that order. So it is my gratitude, it is my duty that I should give respect to what I have promised to someone. So the king said that you are ready to take the anger of the king to keep your promise. So, yes, king, I am ready. Whatever punishment you want to give, you can give me, but I will, first of all, I will show my gratitude to those who work for us, who do something for us. We should keep our promise, what we have kept to them. Then the king became so happy. The king said, the man of gratitude is a man of honesty and courage. Means who is humble, who is thankful or grateful to someone for his help or for some work he has done to him. That is the man of honesty and that is the man of courage. He is a honest and as well as courage man. And I am proud to say that the sixth minister is that type of man who keep his promise, whether his life is intact. He knows if he will disobey king, he will be hanged to death. Then also he took that risk and went to that woodcutter house because he has made promise to him that he will attend his dinner party. Excuse me. A man is whose care my kingdom and people will be saved. This man will take care of my people in my absence, and my people will be saved in his hand. By saying this, he made the sixth king minister as the king of his kingdom in his absence. This is how this story ends, and this is how we come to know that gratitude or your word or your promise, what you have made to other, because something has done to you, you should be grateful to him for what he has done. It may be small thing or big thing, but gratefulness is very important, that you should be grateful, and with humbleness you should try to keep your promise, what you have made to him in any circumstances. That is the best human being you will find, having the best quality, that he keeps his promise with whatever may be the situation. He tries to keep his promise, and he is grateful to those who have helped him in his problem. So this is the moral of the story. Thank you children for watching this video. Please repeatedly you watch this story at home, so that it will be very good for you to remember the story in your mind whenever you will write any exercise about these lessons. It will be a great help for you. Bye bye. Have a good day. God bless you.